and friends, you are welcome to join with us of the Fellowship of Isis, to join in the mystical contemplation of Juno, of Aquarius, the new aeon, and in the blessing of children. Please anoint your brow with water to activate your third eye. And I want you to enjoy this. The future is wonderful. We're going to have expanded consciousness into the stars. We can include the earth, but we're going to extend consciousness. So please ascend into your psychic and spiritual body while retaining some earthly consciousness. Rise now into the past, into the darkness of the time of Aquarius, February the 14th, when the bird's wedding day. And you are over the land of Era, and it is dark, and you see a dark wilderness and the sparkle of a fire in a cypress grove. We see an ancient stone in the middle of a field of sheep. We look further and we see an ancient grey castle, and all this is set between two rivers, the Slaney and the Derry, river of healing, and the Druid, river of the oak. And we observe a violet mountain with a cairn, and those who are psychic see plumes of light coming out of it. It is a pre-diluvian cairn. However, there's also a light coming from this castle, and we slowly descend through it like mist. There is a whole group of priests and priestesses and mothers with children. There is now a procession out of the temple of Isis, cross a garden and down a long yew walk. Come. And the beat of a drum, a badron, the ancient Irish drum. Come with them. They're going to the northeast, place of the holiness of Druidry. They go through a wrought iron gateway, cross a field, and reach this ancient granite stone. Rainwater collects there, and this brings healing. Now, people anoint themselves with this water and anoint their children with this water also. Imagine yourself doing this. It's just humble rainwater. It derives its properties from the stone itself. The stone is imbued, having been magically blessed aeons ago. So imagine yourself doing this. The procession now is moving away from the Balaurn stone, and we are now entering a wilderness, and it contains trees representing every form of civilization. The oldest tree in the world, the ginkgo, because it has no central spine in its leaves, is quite high here. But we are going to an indigenous grove of cypresses, and we pass through the two pillars of this temple, the portals, two cypresses, and we come into a wide circle of cypresses with a fire burning. Now all drink from glasses that are resting beneath a tree, and having received this water, there begins the dance of giving water to the earth. First of all, the children fill up little glasses of water and they sprinkle it on the ground, dancing around, and all the grown-ups, the priestesses, priests and companions, do the same. They form a beautiful dance, going in and out all the trees in the wilderness. Join in this dance. Imagine yourself now joining in and out. It's like the old children's song, in and out the dusty windows, which used to be an old ritual. Thread the needle. Joyfully the children laugh and sing. Feel that all life is one with the stars and the earth. There is no difference between faiths. All are different as we are in personality and practices, but all stem from all life. So all are one. Feel this in yourself. As you dance, sprinkle water around, especially to people you don't like. There are people that we don't feel in resonance with, and you especially give them the waters of life. Send water of healing. Dance. Gently sprinkle the waters of life. Now the companions are seated and they intone the sound of Hera. That is easier to sound than Juno. And as the chant continues, the sound blends with the dance movement, and movement and sound produce perfect balance between fire and water, air and earth, the sacred elements. And these many-coloured radiations are sent over the earth and unite with the stars. Visualise the Aquarian constellation. Think of it, visualise it, and send forth good star rays to all. Not only children are welcoming here, but a cat is joining us, called Fluff. White. There are always white cats at the castle, since 1625. And a black one called Hector. Very large and very black. Black and white are one. Black is not bad or evil, and white isn't particularly good. They're mixed. And there's a mixed cat too, actually, called Bundle, wandering around. Huge golden Labrador is not here, but he's wandering around somewhere, wondering what we're doing. Yes, here he is, gazing with sleepy interest. And people visualize their spirit pet. Visualize your own animal friends, birds, plants, in freedom. This is rebirth. Aquarian aeon is for the young, not the conquering child so much as the child in us all that only conquers through friendliness, the way children are. The air and water of Aquarius symbolize spirit in union with emotions. You rise above the situation in Aquarius. You have some terrible row or problem at your work, or you've been having rows with people. The Aquarian method is to rise above it and look down, and it becomes in proportion. You don't ignore it. Do this. Have you any problem? Don't hide it away during the ritual, and then it pops out at you later when you sleep in a nightmare. Face it now, and rise above it. Look down on it from this starry standpoint. Your health problem, any. All problems vanish when you are your true self, for we are only players in the shadow world. And now, at the birth of a new aeon, we look ahead. Now we've solved our problems. What do we plan for our own future, not only now, but in future lives, whether on earth or in the stars? There is no jealousy, envy or hatred in the new aeon, for we share others' triumphs and glories. There's no competition. We are part of the peacock's tail, the many eyes, the cosmic goddess. And as we feel this, we feel the waters of Aquarius and the stars pour through us. Happiness is not yesterday or tomorrow, it is now, and that now extends like ripples right through the whole of one's being. Sorrow passes, joy lasts forever. The children in the circle are the ones who see the most. The small she, what the English call fairies, are here. At home with Juno. The fire warms this cold evening. As you sit, an idea forms in your mind, a project you can contribute for the earth. You are receiving inspiration from the stars. You can see the star Cassiopeia, the great W in the sky, the northern constellations, and you know that beneath, below the South Pole, is Aquarius, and the stars are always there. There is no loss. We are shrouded with a starry mantle. When the sun goes down, the stars are seen. So at winter, when our earthly vitality perhaps decreases, our inner spirit shines forth. We become psychically gifted. We begin to be able to sense auras. We see that all creatures are part of a rainbow network of radiations. Yet we are each individual. We are all stars. Now, a different type of priestess steps forward. She is wearing Indian robes. The priestess of Pingala, then, in her beautiful sari and golden tiara, offers incense at the altar, invoking now the inner power of fire through the goddess. This is the very inner core. The god rules outer power, Ra, Jupiter. The goddess conceals the inner kundalini. But this must not be awakened unless the soul is prepared. The company are seated, some who can do it, in the lotus position. The goddess of Pingala, Kundalini, moves gently and subtly behind each companion and places her hands slightly over their heads. Some may see a small flame over the head. Feel this. Now she draws her hands lightly, not touching but down the spine, and begins to draw power up from the earth with her hand. She moves gently, in other words, placing her left hand over the top of the head and her right hand towards the earth at the base of the spine. Feel power from the earth, Mother Earth, coming up your spine in warm power to your heart. Imagine this lovely lady in gold and orange robe moving around, and you begin to grow a tiara of light. Feel golden light over your head, beautiful golden light coming down, warm power coming up. Now silver is intermingled, moon power. You draw it to your third eye. You begin to see wonderful visions. You begin to see colour. The power reaches your heart, and both powers reach your heart. And you see this circle of people in a sort of ecstasy. And the children are seated in an inner circle with their eyes shut. And they see the best visions, for they go to fairyland. So youth and age are joined, and that perhaps is the greatest barrier of all. Here there is another dance. This time, imagine 11 star rays of Aquarius, all the colours of the peacock, being woven. This dance involves elaborate arm movements, and the children all copy. They have their own procession, and they go in and out through the trees. Join this. Dance this weaving of the stars. Think of their beautiful names that were given to them. The fortunate star of the ruler, star of mighty destiny, Fortuna Fortunarum. Then the fortunate star of the hidden mystery and the granter of wishes, the bright stream of meteors, and the good fortune of those who graciously accept that which is offered, accept this friendliness. And the flame of New, the wise woman, and the celestial mist, and the Aquarian twins, and the constellation of marriage. Juno presided over marriage. And I love the teardrop, a star of gentle sorrow, and the urn of outpouring wine, star Sicula. Feel now the feeling of Aquarius, the gentle receiving and giving. The dance is slowly winding to its end, and now the sacred name of Juno is woven into the weaving. This time, working with harmony for beings of the stars, the beautiful Pleiades, whichever star we are drawn to. Now comes the time for deeper meditation. The flamenco unrolls a scroll showing the star pattern of Aquarius. You are surrounded by the sea of heaven. The Aquarian Grael overflows and fills your cup, which is the lotus upon your head. Feel this silvery power filling the lotus above your head. It's pouring through you, filling you with creativity, power to create, whether it be a child or a painting or an order, some good that only you can do. You feel at peace with all beings because you accept variety. There are many eyes to the tail of the peacock, many faiths, many races throughout the galaxy, which are the streaming milk from Juno. Each is individual. Rise above them all and you see them as part of a tremendous whole. However, the priestess now calls us back from the meditation. She speaks. Let us return slowly to everyday awareness, bringing back that which we have achieved. Let us send forth thoughts of truth and harmony to all. Everyone stands to their feet and they hold up their hands to the stars. They feel the star power of Aquarius coming down. You may feel this silvery power coming right down through you. That's it. You feel it. When people experience the power, they turn outwards, the circle all, and they, with their hands, send the power out to all the earth, all around, through the beautiful trees, the plants, everywhere. And the children all do this as well. Harmony to all for the new Aquarian aeon, through Juno, Queen of Heaven. The time has now come for the priesthood to give thanks. We give thanks in our hearts, but we're a bit puzzled because the priesthood are beginning to look a little misty, rather far away as we hear all give thanks. We're beginning to rise to the stars, rise up now above the grove, and we look down and we see the company forming a procession, this time widdershins, that's right to left, round the fire, and they put it out. We are sorry to say goodbye to this happy company. We can almost imagine the children waving at us as we begin to rise like the she, like the spirit beings, fairies, into the sky. And for a moment we hover and we look at the procession moving its way now to the Balawn stone, and we know that they will re-enter the temple of Isis, bringing with them incense, pine needles from the earth and water. We feel at harmony with everyone in our own life, with all those whose, or creatures or plants whose lives touch ours. We rise into the air and look down at the old castle between the two rivers, which we see now as the river of healing of Juno, and that of her divine daughters, the priestesses, all flowing to the sea in harmony with Jupiter of the air. And we bless the earth and the trees thereof. In the name of Isis of 10,000 names, may all beings be blessed, and in that of Osiris, God who rose from the dead. The fellowship of Isis, human, she, animals, birds, reptiles, fishes, insects, trees, plants, this earth, and all elements. May you too be blessed, my friend, but you better come back to your own now, knowing that it is the eternal now, one with past and future. Float into the sky above your own place and look down on it. How trivial are its problems. They are all in perspective, the necessary shade. You descend back into your earthly body. I'm back. You're back in your own body. I am Olivia Robertson of the Fellowship of Isis at Clonigall Castle, and I believe that it helps us to look at the stars. And of course it's rather hard, you can't see Aquarius when you're born under that sign because it's in the house of the sun, but you can at least enjoy looking at it 6 months later and surveying it on a star map. And I feel that the fact that we're entering into the age of Aquarius mayn't be comprehensible in scientific terms. I mean, why should there be Ganymede and Ganymeda pouring water out of an urn when you're surveying mighty stars parsecs away? But the Magi used those ancient stories to convey deep spiritual meaning far beyond the knowledge of any scientist. Deep spiritual truths enshrined in ancient literature live again when we experience what they teach. So look at the stars. I will end with the ancient Roman salutation. Hail and farewell. Ave, salve, vale. Receive the blessings of Juno of Aquarius.